breaks down the film.
And at that time, we had the full face.
This guy is a legend. I'm just watching some of these highlights. It's so great to see. Throughout the month of February, the NHL, they're sharing stories about individuals and organizations who represent and champion black achievement in the hockey world. Grant Fuhr was the first black hockey player inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2003, and he's won 5 Stanley Cup championships and was named one of the 100 greatest NHL players as well. Joining us now, talk about his incredible career and just how life is, plus some inspirations. Grant, appreciate you joining us this morning. Good morning, brother.
How are you?
I'm doing well, man. And how are you doing this out? You're in California. I know you guys pretty much have the same kind of lockdown that we do have here in Toronto. What's it been like for you?
It's a little bit different. I'm used to popping back and forth across the border. My kids are up in Canada, so it's been a little bit different, but at the same time, it hasn't been bad. I'm not in 40 below weather, so it's okay.
Yeah, you're getting out to the golf course as well. I know you love to golf, and everyone always asks, would you have traded in your hockey career for a career as a professional golfer? The answer is?
No, I love hockey. To this day, I still love hockey, so no, I wouldn't trade it in.
Man, when you watch this documentary about you, which is absolutely incredible. I rewatched it last night again, and I just sat there and watched all the highlights. What you did, like the flamboyancy, the athleticism of how you played goal, I don't think we've seen since. Was that just what came natural to you?
You know what it was? At that time, we didn't have goalie coaches or anything, so it was learn as you go. And at that time, I lived and died with reflexes. As I got older, I learned to read the game a little bit better and didn't have to be quite as flashy. But at the same time, you got to go with what you know.
Hey, and it worked for you, man. 5 Stanley Cup championships. And let's talk about, you said growing up, the black, white, any of that stuff didn't really matter. You just played hockey. And as your career went on, did you come to more of an understanding of how important your role was as a black hockey player?
You know what? As you get older, you learn different things. And I think that's part of aging, part of maturing. As a young man, you didn't care. You just played. Mm-hmm. So I think more as I got towards retirement, you understand a little bit more. You look back at the history of the game. And I feel pretty fortunate that I get to follow guys like Willie and Mike Marson, Bill Riley, Val James, Tony McKegney. So for me, it was probably a lot easier than it was for them.
Yeah, and we're seeing images here of Willie O'Ree. He's 85 years old, and it was supposed to happen this week, putting his jersey up in the stands there in the rafters of Boston Garden, and it's going to be postponed until next year now. But your thoughts when you look at Willie and just his career and the legacy of Willie O'Ree?
I think it's phenomenal. Getting to know Willie over the last 5-7 years, getting to spend some time with him, getting an understanding of what he went through to play in the National Hockey League. And you look back, it's the old 6-team league. So and it wasn't exactly color-friendly at that time. So to see everything that Willie went through and to see what a positive attitude he has towards the game still, I think is phenomenal.
Yeah, and he's always working hard to continue to make sure that diversity happens in the NHL, as are you. What would you like to see, going forward for the NHL and the involvement that they're doing now, but to continue to do?
I think the NHL is getting better and better about exposing the game to kids that are in less privileged areas. Everybody knows that hockey is an expensive game, and I think the league's got to continue to expose kids to the game. And I think that's how you're going to get the diversity in the game, is you have to make it affordable for minorities, for kids that maybe wouldn't get that opportunity. So I think the league's got to continue with that program, and it needs to be built on.
Yeah, definitely. Grant, I was just saying with that documentary, you got guys like some of the greatest players to ever hit the ice call you one of the greatest players and say that you're the most athletic person they've seen on the ice. What's one of the stories that you love to tell but don't get a chance to tell that often? Family friendly.
People just don't really. I think people don't realize how much fun we had in Edmonton. With the group of guys we had, with the talent we had, we probably had more fun than probably any team in history. I think that's the best part, is we've all stayed friends. We're all good friends, but the enjoyment that we got out of going to the rink every day, it was like having 18 brothers in the household. So it was great.
Yeah, that era was unbelievable. And then you moved around, of course, and played different teams. And now you look at this North Division, if you look at some of the Canadian teams you played for, are you following along? And if you are, who do you see as the favorite?
You know what the fun part is? I get to watch hockey every night, so I'm enjoying that. But no, the North Division, I love seeing all Canadian teams. I think it's going to, as the season gets along further, it's going to get even better and better. But I think the way it's gone so far, the Leafs look really good. I mean, it's going to be a battle towards the end. I think Montreal's kind of been a big surprise. But you're also going to see teams like Vancouver are going to get better. Calgary and Edmonton are going to get better. Winnipeg's going to get better. So it's going to be a fun run right to the end.
Grant, you left Ottawa out of that one, so I don't know how those Sens fans are going to feel.
Well, they've got a little bit of growing to do.
They do.
They're going to get better, but they've still got a little more growing than some of the other teams.
They do. Listen, man, we appreciate everything you've done for the game of hockey and the memories that you've given all of us and your time this morning. Grant Fuhr, you are a legend, and we thank you for your time, brother.
It's my pleasure. Take care.
All right, we'll see you soon. Dina, what do we got coming up?
From the ice to the floor, the green, the golf course. That's where it's all at, D. Coming up next, Meghan Markle has stepped out in this Canadian designer's creation. Nina Carey joining us live to talk about her sustainable fashion, and it involves scrubs.